Hey everyone, get this, Russian authorities just launched a huge operation to arrest a guy who says he's Jesus. We're talking helicopters, armed officers, the whole 9 yards. It was like something out of a movie. They stormed this remote community in Siberia, led by Sergei Torop, but his followers call him Vissarion. This place is so isolated it's like stepping back in time. They arrested him and 2 of his helpers. It was a coordinated effort, and they didn't leave anything to chance. The Russian government says he's running an illegal religious group, taking people's money, and messing with their heads. They claim he's been exploiting his followers for years. Picture this. 59-year-old Torop, long gray hair, big beard, being led to a helicopter by masked soldiers. It's a surreal image, almost biblical in its own right. Even Russia's top security service, the FSB, was involved. This wasn't just a local police matter, it was a high-stakes operation. They also arrested Vissarion's right-hand man, Vadim Redkin. Fun fact, he used to be in a popular boy band back in Soviet times. Imagine going from pop star to cult leader's deputy. Another helper, Vladimir Vedernikov, got arrested too. These guys were the inner circle, the ones who kept the whole thing running. So Torop used to be a traffic cop, can you believe it? From directing traffic to claiming to be the Messiah. But in 1989, he lost his job and said he had like a spiritual awakening right as the Soviet Union was falling apart. It was a time of chaos and uncertainty, and he found his calling. A few years later in 1991, he started this whole movement called the Church of the Last Testament. It grew quickly, attracting people who were searching for meaning in a changing world. Thousands of people actually follow him and live in these little villages out in the Siberian wilderness. It's like a self-sustaining community cut off from the rest of the world. We're talking doctors, lawyers, people from all walks of life, even some from other countries. It's a diverse group united by their belief in Vissarion. Back in 2002, Vissarion told a newspaper, "I'm not God and Jesus isn't God either, but I speak for God. Anything God wants to say, he says through me." It's a bold claim, and it resonated with his followers. Anything God wants to say, he says through me. His followers took this to heart, seeing him as a divine messenger. At first, Vissarion said Jesus was watching us from space and Mary was in charge of Russia. It was an unusual belief, but it gave his followers a sense of cosmic significance. But later he just straight up said he was Jesus. This was a turning point, solidifying his role as the central figure in the movement. Was Jesus. His community follows a weird mix of Christian stuff, environmental rules, and other made-up things. It's a unique blend that sets them apart from mainstream religions. Everyone has to be vegan, no money allowed, and they wear simple clothes. It's a lifestyle that's both strict and simple, reflecting their spiritual beliefs. They even count years starting from Vissarion's birth in 1961, and they celebrate his birthday on January 14th instead of Christmas. It's like they've created their own world, separate from the rest of society. Now that he's arrested, nobody knows what will happen to his followers. They're in a state of shock and uncertainty, unsure of what the future holds. It's also weird that the authorities suddenly decided to act now. Why now, after all these years? The official Russian church doesn't like Vissarion's group, but the government usually left them alone. This sudden crackdown is raising a lot of questions. Some people think maybe they got into trouble with local businesses. There are rumors of land disputes and financial conflicts that might have triggered this action. Whatever the reason, this is a major development, and the world is watching to see what happens next.